What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA. All right, everybody, look, we got to talk about Oscar Isaac right now because bro came out and made some inflammatory comments slamming Disney and then, according to the direct, putting his MCU and Star Wars future in doubt. Look, let me tell y'all this right now. When it comes to the characters that this dude has played in Disney Star Wars as well as Disney Marvel, yeah, them characters was already in doubt. As a matter of fact, nobody cared about them characters. Them characters was already dead to us, in our opinion, all right? I'm talking about Poe Dameron. You guys remember Poe Dameron, somehow Palpatine returns himself, all right? Nobody cared about this character. He was pretty much gone already. And then, of course, Moon Knight. Yeah, he played Moon Knight. And I'm going to tell you right now, I fell asleep multiple times while I was trying to watch this thing the first run. I haven't gone back to visit it once. I could care less about this thing, and a whole lot of other people feel the exact same way. So yeah, I don't know if there was ever any opportunity for Oscar Isaac to come back into Disney, Star Wars, or Marvel anyway, because nobody really cares. The whole sequel trilogy, that thing just needs to be put up on the shelf somewhere and forgotten about. Like, why are y'all still talking about the sequel trilogy as if this is some sort of a great era of Star Wars filmmaking? Oh my God, we got to get back to Poe Dameron. Like, does anybody care about Poe Dameron? Of course not.
We don't care.
Let me tell you something.
We don't care.
He can say whatever he wants to. It won't make a bit of difference. It won't hurt his chances. It won't help his chances. He could whisper sweet nothings into Disney's ear and talk all kinds of good shit about him, or he could trash him daily. And it won't help Poe Dameron return, all right? Poe Dameron ain't returning like Palpatine did, all right? But look, let me jump to this because the crap that he's talking about Disney, when they're talking about he's slamming Disney, the stuff that he's slamming Disney is just typical Hollywood nonsense, where these guys, they just sit out there and spew the talking points. Oh, we got to get the talking points out there as to what we think of this administration. Of course, talking about the Trump administration and Republicans and all this other kind of crap. That's basically what this is all about. It's right here. It's in this interview he did with GQ magazine. So Oscar Isaac pulled back the curtain on his thoughts and possibly Oscar Isaac pulled back the curtain on his thoughts about possibly returning to Star Wars and Marvel and working with Disney again. Isaac pointed out that he is not so open to working with Disney, noting that he would only do so if the studio would figure it out and not succumb to fascism.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
Yeah, I got it. I know. And here's the actual question and answer, okay? GQ had said, but you softened on this in recent years. You said, well, maybe, why not? What they're talking about is, he said, like, right away after The Rise of Skywalker dropped, yeah, I don't think I'm coming back to this character again. And he's kind of kept that going. Yeah, I think Poe Dameron is done. You know, I don't know if I'm coming back to this. I think I'm out, all right? And then he's been softening in recent, yeah, well, maybe, maybe I'll come back, maybe not, or whatever. They're asking why. So he says, yeah, I mean, I'd be open to it. Although right now, I'm not so open to working with Disney. But if they can figure it out and, not succumb to fascism.
You keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
That would be great. Yeah. So this guy, again, is doing what Hollywood loves to do. They like to throw out the talking points, all right? They like to throw out the verbiage that they've been trained to use. Hey, make sure you say fascism anytime you're talking about the current administration. That way we can, get these morons and these lemmings to believe the nonsense that we're saying. So make sure you use that word all the time. What does it mean? Nah, don't worry about what it means. Don't worry about it. Just throw it out there, okay? That's all you got to do. It's ridiculous, man. What they're talking about, of course, is the Jimmy Kimmel situation that Disney got embroiled with, where Disney ended up shit-canning Jimmy Kimmel because they were getting heat from Nexstar. They were getting heat from Sinclair. But everybody said, oh, they must be getting heat from the Trump administration because the Trump FCC chairman said, hey, what is Disney going to do about this guy? Everybody was coming down on Disney's head because of Jimmy Kimmel. It wasn't just the Trump administration. Other people were doing it, but because everybody in Hollywood has to hate, we must hate him with everything. So fascism gets thrown out there. And it's just utterly retarded. Fascism is not a 4-day, 5-day turnaround, which is what it ended up being for Jimmy Kimmel. He was gone for like 5 days. If there was real fascism going on, do you think fascism would I guess they can only get rid of him for 5 days with fascism? These people are stupid. They're idiots. But yet they keep banging this same drum, all right? And so that's basically what the question is. Look, everybody basically called him out and said, yeah, Oscar Isaac's an idiot, all right? You know, Jimmy Kimmel was reinstated within 5 days. If there was some real fascism going on, bro, would have been donezo. Or Disney bringing him back would have faced major consequences, all right? This is retardation. So yeah, here's what some folks were saying on discussing film about it. Fun fact, whether you love or hate Donald Trump, he won both the national vote and the electoral vote. That's not fascism. That's how the system is supposed to work. Exactly. This guy said, Overton window shift update, suspending millionaire TV host for making fun of a murder equals succumbing to fascism now. Exactly. Like, again, it wasn't even so much he was making fun of it. He was just throwing misinformation out about it. He was throwing misinformation out about a very high-profile political assassination at a time where things were hot and heavy and people were really, really emotionally driven by this stuff. And then next thing you know, you saw what? This people shooting up Disney stations and all of that type of dumb shit. That's the kind of nonsense that happens when you throw words like fascism, 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 and then somebody shoots up a Disney or an ABC TV station. It's stupid. It's stupid, but this is what happens, all right, when you use these buzzwords and you don't know what they mean. Grown-ass man still using baby words like fascism. Facts, all right? Yeah, then the idiot trying to put a square block into a round hole. That's what we're talking about when we talk about a lot of these Hollywood actors, okay? Nothing about Charlie Kirk being murdered, but cries fascism when Kimmel was canceled for 3 days. 3 days! The Romans were right about actors. Facts. Bro was done for 3 days. I think it was ultimately 5, but by the time he got back on air. But doesn't matter. It's like, come on, what are we doing here? These people are idiots. He didn't seem to mind Gina Carano's removal. Yeah, nobody says a mumbling word about that. Oh, she could get fired because of her political speech. But, oh, my God, man, you fired Kimmel for something that he said politically? Oh, my God, it's fascism. It's ridiculous, man. Why all these actors want to be political activists so bad, losing sleep over Jimmy Kimmel. Yeah. It's like, what are we doing here, y'all? But see, again, I'm glad he was getting rightfully roasted, man, because that was just a dumb statement. Do these people think succumbing to fascism is something that happens over the course of a weekend and then reverse just as quickly? Do any of them understand how disabled they sound? Facts. This is a great one right there, man. These people don't know what they're talking about. Oscar Isaac and they prove themselves constantly to be morons and idiots that have no they're political infants. That's what I was calling them one day when I was talking to a buddy. All actors are political infants. They don't really dive that deep into it. They stay on the surface. Obviously, some do, but most of them don't. They stay on the surface and they only pitch the talking points. That's the only thing they know. And then all of their buddies around them are pitching the exact same talking points. Everybody in Hollywood is always saying the same shit. That's why Ricky Gervais said the shit he said. You know, you got to tell these people to shut up. Ask any director, actors are some of the dumbest people on earth. He's getting roasted right now. Fuck this globalist soy boy. Damn. What would be great is if actors just did their job. Every time any of them start talking, everyone around them gets dumber. You know, that's the thing, man. Like, they just asked, hey, why did you soften on your stance? All right? Why did you soften on your stance of going back and possibly being Poe Dameron again? Why? And that's all we was looking for as far as an answer. Say, well, you know, I thought about it. The character is kind of meaningful to me, you know, so I really enjoy that character. You know, my relationship with Disney has improved over the years. You know, I see them in a different light. Whatever the actual reason is of why you have softened on it. I need more money. You know, I ain't getting them big giant paychecks like I was used to be getting, man. Bruh, man, Star Wars pays a big check. So yeah, I'm looking for some more money. Whatever the case may be, just tell us what it is. You don't have to, oh, well, you know, if they can stop succumbing to fascism when you don't even know what the hell you're talking about. This is why people can't stand actors. Sheesh, man. Anyway, look, I just wanted to throw that one out there real quick. Oscar Isaac, look, I don't think you have anything to worry about, bruh. Okay? This character, Finn, Rey, you're all done, all right? You're all done in this town. I don't think we are ever going to see these characters ever again on a big screen or in a Disney Plus TV show. Especially now that you said this, they probably like, yeah, I don't even want to mess with them. But at the end of the day, man, look, know what you're talking about or shut the fuck up. Stop talking about fascism and all that kind of stuff. That crap is annoying as hell, man. It's just ridiculous. But anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think about it. Go ahead. Jump down in the comments. Give me your thoughts and opinions on that. Thanks for watching. See you next time.